How's it going, everybody? It's Nick Daniels. I'm hanging out in the Walmart parking lot as it's pretty much downpouring right now, but I figured I would make some time, and we're going to talk about Game of Thrones, the finale that is coming up on May 19th. So before we get into it, and there will be spoilers, I would like to say yes, I will be doing a live stream. So I will be doing a live stream because I think it's at like 9 p.m. that it goes. I'll be watching it at around 10:30 that night. So I will live stream, not the episode, but just my reactions while watching it, because I'm sure I'm going to be displeased. So now that kind of being said, topic of the video though is Game of Thrones. It is the finale. I read online, I know, I read some plot leaks, okay? Normally, they're a bunch of crap, right? I have never cared for plot leaks at all, because they have never been, like, as far as I'm aware, they're just not true. But all the Game of Thrones ones have been extremely accurate. Like, they have, like, literally been, like, almost word for word, like, this is what's going down. It's just they've been executed poorly. And I read the finales, okay? So we're gonna be talking about that. So there are spoilers. In some degree, this shit might be going down. So if you don't want to know, that was your final chance. And I mean, it'll be in the title, so you should have already known. So one of them obviously being that Tyrion is put on some sort of trial, you know, basically, or thrown into a cell instead of just being killed. Like, Varys didn't even have like a trial or shit. He was just taken out, obviously for freeing Jaime. So that's to come. Now I read a couple conflicting ones saying that he would die and he wouldn't die. I don't think they'll kill him, and I'll get to why that is in a minute. So obviously though, plot armor, he won't be dying. It says Arya leaves. There's just no explanation of what that means. It's just that she leaves. I don't know where she leaves to, but I guess like she just doesn't go back to Winterfell. I guess Sansa starts to rule Winterfell, which makes sense. That actually I could see, because obviously Jon still doesn't really want it. Like he's done what he needs to do. So apparently, like, Dany and Jon have like a conversation. Like, obviously got everyone else there about like justifying her actions, and like it says in this plot leak that Jon basically like pledges himself to her, so he probably like bends the knee and he's like, you know, like I will forever be like your Warden of the North, and then apparently he stabs her and kills her. Okay, so apparently after doing so, he like gives himself up to the Unsullied and actually takes the Black instead, like, to avoid you know, this. And I mean, I don't think there was a Night's Watch anymore. I really don't think there is. I don't even think there's a Castle Black. But maybe he goes beyond the wall and just lives out his days, like, out there with, like, the wildlings, right? And hopefully actually, like, touches ghosts and reunites with them instead of just looking at him and walking away, which was fucking pathetic. So there's that. Apparently, the ruler is dictated by a council, according to Sam. Sam says, let's get everybody together and let's vote. And they vote Bran. And then I heard some live stream when they were making fun of it, and they said he'd be the protector of the ramps. I was like, dude, like, honestly though, like, if Bran fucking becomes the ruler of the Seven Kingdoms, like, I swear to God. Oh, and Bronn, it said that Bronn was on his council. Why would Bronn ever be on that council? The only reason is he actually gets the deal made and he gets Highgarden. So it would, obviously, that would make a sense why he'd be on the council. But it's like, dude, like, it just seems so weird because it was like Bronn, I think it was Bronn, like Tyrion, Davos, like all the people like that originally just didn't have anything to do with it. You know, but maybe. So that was kind of like the main idea of what was going down. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm gonna be like real. Oh yeah, and sorry, the Unsullied, after that, they just leave and they go back over the water and just start continuing the mission of freeing slaves. I don't know what happens to the dragon either. Maybe the dragon just goes and fucks off. I don't really care. Drogon there. Honestly, like, I'm really displeased with the whole thing. I know reading it online, I understand that completely. Like, it's a far fetch. You know, Like, I'm not gonna sit here and discredit that. Like, I've openly said before, it's you know, it's not something I normally take and be like, oh man, like this has to be, you know, this has to be right. Like, no, the way I interpret it is when you read those things, it's like, you know, half the time they're just BS. But where the last couple, because I haven't read all these Game of Thrones plot leaks before, but I read the one for like the last episode and the one prior, and I'm telling you, they were like spot on. There was the odd couple things, but I'm telling you, they were very accurate. It was just the execution, obviously, was what was different. And so I don't know. I don't really know what to expect. But I'm telling you, if this is what happens, I absolutely swear to God, if this is what happens, like if Bran becomes the ruler, he sits on the throne, I'm not gonna be happy, right? Right? I don't really know who should, but just to have Bran, like, I don't really know. I don't think that would be appropriate. You know, I guess it is going to be something that nobody saw coming, if that's the case. Like, if this shit's real, I swear to God, because I'm going to do my Game of Thrones thing, right? And I'll be talking about it in my review and shit. And I'm telling you, if this is right, I'm going to be pissed. But I mean, I guess time will tell, right? But yeah, I will be absolutely pissed if it actually comes to pass and that Bran actually rules. Like, dude, like, what the hell, right? Like, I'm not saying Daenerys shouldn't get it. I'm not saying that Jon shouldn't get it, that kind of thing. But it's like just the one guy that you wouldn't expect to get it, and the one guy who's openly said, like, he doesn't want Winterfell, like, he doesn't want this, he doesn't want anything, right? So I think it'll be kind of cool to see that, though, at the same time, that, you know, it'll be the 180 and no one will expect that to happen. And like I said, if Jon technically takes the black, I don't know why he just wouldn't get executed on the spot. I feel like that would probably be more likely to happen. But if he does kind of go back and he's like, you know, I think that's what would happen. I think he would live out his days beyond the wall, right? Because, I mean, you can't even, like, there's not a point to the Night's Watch anymore. It's not like we got, what are they even guarding the men of the realm from, right? Like, from the cold. I don't know. Right? Like, it's not from the wildlings. Jon's friends with them all, right? Like, yeah, he befriended all the wildlings. You know, so I don't really understand. I don't really know what's, you know, I don't really know what's gonna happen there. But, like I said, I just wanted to address this plot leak thing, because if it's actually true, I think it's gonna be a bunch of bull, man. The whole thing is gonna be bull, and I think a lot of people, I mean, a lot of people are already let down with Game of Thrones, but I think it's just gonna be even worse. And I heard a good quote today there. The only reason that people are really upset about this whole Game of Thrones Season 8 thing is because they were already, like, fans of the show. There was so much there, right? And everybody was, like, really into it. And then once they started dropping the ball, that's where the problem started, because everybody was so invested into the show that now it's like, okay, now you're kind of shitting the bed. Now this stuff's happening. Okay, now it's not so good anymore, right? And that's what I mean. Like, people were invested. Now they're not so invested anymore. And it makes sense that now people would be rebelling against the idea, right? Like, man, I hit a really deep hole there, or felt it anyway. But yeah, it's like, man, the show sucks now. Like I said, we really liked it. We were watching it all this time. It blows. I get where people are coming from. I really do, because I'm one of them. So anyway, thank you so much for watching, everybody. Let me know what you guys think about the plot leak thing. Do you think this is going to happen? And if you do, you know, what do you think? Is it going to be 100% accurate, or is it going to switch up somehow? Sorry. See you later. Thanks. Peace.